Hey, what if I told you that the secret to transforming your life isn't some crazy diet, intense workout routine, or motivational speech? What if it's actually something so simple, so obvious, that you've probably been overlooking it your entire life? The truth is, most people are obsessed with goals, but goals are broken. Let me prove it to you. How many New Year's resolutions have you made? And how many did you actually keep? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're not alone. 99% of people fail at their goals. But here's the shocking part: the people who succeed aren't necessarily smarter, more talented, or more disciplined. They just understood one simple concept that changed everything. And that concept is what James Clear, the author of the best selling book Atomic Habits, calls the compound effect of tiny changes. In this video, I'm going to break down the three most powerful lessons from Atomic Habits that literally transformed how millions of people around the world build success. Whether you want to start a business, lose weight, build better relationships, or just become a better version of yourself, this book has the answers. So if you want to learn how to make tiny changes that lead to extraordinary results, stay with me. Let's dive in. Section 1: The Problem with Goals. Before we get into the solutions, we need to understand the actual problem. Most of us are goal obsessed. We set goals, we dream about goals, we visualize our goals. I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to make $1 million. I want to write a book. And you know what? Goals feel amazing. They feel powerful. You write them down, you feel motivated, you feel like you're finally taking control of your life. But here's the problem: goals are broken. Think about it. Two people can have the exact same goal: lose 50 pounds. But one person loses 50 pounds and keeps it off, while the other person yo-yos back and forth their entire life. Why? Because the goal is the same. The difference is in the systems. James Clear explains it like this: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Let that sink in for a second. Your goal is not the problem. Your system is. And most people don't have a system. They have motivation and hope. And motivation is temporary. Hope is temporary. What you need is a system, a set of daily habits that compound over time. The book makes this crystal clear with a powerful idea. If you improve by just 1% every single day, do you know what happens after 1 year? You become 37 times better. Let me say that again. 1% improvement every day equals 37 times better in 1 year. But that works the other way too. If you get 1% worse every single day, you become 0.03 times of what you were. You essentially become nothing. This is the compound effect. And this is why atomic habits, tiny, small habits that seem insignificant on any given day, are actually the secret to extraordinary results. Section 2. Key lesson number 1: the habit loop. So, how do habits actually work? This is crucial because if you understand the mechanism, you can hack it. James Clear breaks down what's called the habit loop. It has three parts. Part 1: the cue. The cue is the trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode. It's the environmental factor or the context that makes you do a habit. For example, let's say your habit is checking your phone when you wake up. What's the cue? Waking up. You see your phone on the nightstand. That's the cue. Or maybe you have a habit of eating chips while watching Netflix. What's the cue? Sitting down on the couch. You see the chip bag in the pantry. These are cues. Part 2: the routine. The routine is the actual habit you perform. It's the behavior itself. It's checking your phone. It's eating the chips. It's going to the gym. It's writing. This is the part that most people focus on. I need to work out more. I need to stop eating junk food. I need to read more. But here's the thing: the routine is actually the easiest part to change. The real work is in the cue and the reward. Part 3: the reward. The reward is the benefit your brain gets from doing the habit. It's why you do it. You check your phone because you get dopamine from notifications and new information. Your brain feels stimulated and rewarded. You eat chips because it feels good. Your brain gets pleasure from the taste and the experience. You go to the gym and you feel accomplished and stronger. That's the reward. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on the routine, but that's backwards. If you want to quit a bad habit, you don't eliminate the routine. You change the cue or the reward. Example: you want to stop eating chips while watching Netflix. Don't try willpower. That's exhausting. Instead, change the cue. Put the chips in a place you can't see them. Or change your routine location. Watch Netflix in a different room where chips aren't available. Or change the reward. Instead of chips, eat something healthier that gives you the same satisfaction and reward feeling. This is why most diets fail. People try to use willpower to fight the routine, but they never address the real issue, the cue or the reward. Key insight: the habit loop is your cheat code. Master this and you can build any habit you want, or break any habit you want. The book gives incredible examples of how prisoners of war used this during the Vietnam War. They visualized playing golf in perfect conditions to mentally escape. The cue was their daily routine. The reward was escaping reality. That one habit kept them sane for years. So now you understand the habit loop, but there's something even more powerful, and this is where most people miss the mark. The difference between people who stick to habits and people who don't isn't motivation, it's identity. James Clear calls this identity-based habits. Most people set habits like this: I want to lose weight, so I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. But the problem is, this is outcome focused. You're focused on the result, not on who you are. Instead, what if you flipped it? What if you said, I am the type of person who values their health. I am an athlete. I am disciplined. Do you see the difference? The first one is, I have a goal to lose weight. The second one is, I am a healthy person. These are fundamentally different. And it changes everything. When you make decisions, you're not thinking about the outcome. You're thinking about who you are. Who is a healthy person? Someone who goes to the gym. Someone who eats vegetables. Someone who gets 8 hours of sleep. Who is a writer? Someone who writes every day. Someone who reads. Someone who pays attention to language and storytelling. Who is an entrepreneur? Someone who takes risks. Someone who learns constantly. Someone who solves problems. See how powerful this is? The most powerful habits are the ones that support your identity. Let me give you a real example from the book. There's a story about a man who quit smoking. For years, he tried and failed. He used willpower. He tried patches, nothing worked. Then one day, he made a decision. He said, I am not a smoker. That's it. He didn't say, I'm trying to quit. He said, I am not a smoker. And from that identity shift, everything changed. His habits changed. His decisions changed. Because everything he did had to be aligned with his identity. When someone offered him a cigarette, he didn't have to say, no, I'm trying to quit. He just said, no, I don't smoke. Different identity, different decision. Here's the formula from Atomic Habits. 1. Decide the type of person you want to be. 2. Prove it to yourself with small wins. 3. Let the identity compound. For example, identity. I'm someone who is disciplined with money. What habits prove this? I track my spending. I have a budget. I invest 10% of my income. I don't impulse buy. Every time you do these small habits, you're not just building wealth. You're building your identity. You're becoming that person. And here's the beautiful part. Once your identity shifts, the habits become effortless. You're not forcing yourself. You're being yourself. This is why some people seem to have unlimited discipline. They're not using more willpower. They have a stronger identity alignment. Key insight. Your habits are votes for the type of person you want to become. Every action you take is a vote, and your identity is formed by the majority of those votes. Lesson number 3, the 2-day rule. All right, so we've covered the habit loop and identity based habits, but there's one more crucial lesson that separates people who actually build long term success from people who quit. It's called the 2 day rule. Here's the lesson: never miss a habit twice. That's it. Never miss the same habit twice in a row. You see, most people have an all or nothing mentality. They mess up one day and they think, well, I already broke my streak. I might as well give up. So they miss a workout and then they miss two and then they miss a week and then they're back where they started. But that's not how habits work. The strength of a habit is determined by frequency, not perfection. One missed day doesn't destroy a habit, but two missed days, that's the slippery slope. That's where habits die. The book gives the perfect example. You can miss one workout and still be an athlete. You can eat one cheat meal and still be healthy. You can miss one writing session and still be a writer. But if you miss two in a row, your brain starts to normalize the break. It becomes a pattern, and patterns become habits. So the rule is simple: never miss twice. And if you do miss one day, the absolute most important thing is to get back on track the next day. Because the 2 day rule isn't about being perfect, it's about building momentum and protecting your identity. Here's why this works psychologically: when you miss a day, you have one chance to get back on track. This creates urgency and motivation. You're protecting your identity. I'm not the type of person who quits. And psychologically, one break feels like an accident, two breaks feel like a decision, three breaks feel like a new habit. So by enforcing the 2 day rule, you're protecting yourself from the slippery slope. Real life example: there's a story about a man who tracked his habit streak on a calendar. Every day he did his habit, he put an X on the calendar. His goal was to never break the chain, but then one day he got sick. He missed a day. He was devastated. All that momentum gone. Then he learned about the 2 day rule. He said, okay, I missed one day, but I will not miss 2 days in a row. And even though he was sick, he did something small, but he did it because the rule wasn't perfection. It was maintaining frequency. And that simple shift from perfection to frequency changed his entire approach to habits. Key insight: consistency beats perfection, frequency beats intensity. Show up most of the time, and the results will compound. Section 5: how to apply this. So now you know the 3 lessons, but knowing and doing are 2 different things. So let me give you a simple framework to apply these lessons starting today. Step 1: identify your desired identity. Who do you want to become? Not what do you want to achieve? Who do you want to be? I'm a disciplined person. I'm someone who takes care of my health. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an investor. Write it down, make it specific. Step 2: break it down into atomic habits. What's one tiny habit that proves this identity? If you want to be healthy, that's not exercise more. That's do 10 push ups every morning. If you want to be an investor, that's not get rich. That's read one page of investment books every day. If you want to be an entrepreneur, that's not start a business. That's spend 30 minutes on my business idea every morning. Make it so small that you can't say no. Step 3: design your habit loop. Identify the cue, put it in your environment, make it obvious. Do push ups next to your bed, put your investment book on your kitchen table, set up your laptop for your business ideas. Design the reward, make it satisfying, celebrate the small win. Step 4: use the 2 day rule, commit to never missing twice. Show up most of the time, and that's it. That's the formula from Atomic Habits. So there you have it. The 3 most powerful lessons from Atomic Habits that will transform your life. 1. Understand the habit loop, master the cue, routine, and reward, and you can build any habit or break any habit. 2. Build identity-based habits. Stop focusing on outcomes. Start focusing on who you want to become, because identity is the strongest driver of behavior. 3. Apply the 2 day rule. Never miss the same habit twice in a row. Consistency beats perfection always.
Now, here's the thing. Reading this book or watching this video is great, but it means nothing if you don't apply it. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one identity you want to build. Pick one atomic habit that proves that identity and commit to the 2-day rule for the next 30 days. Just 30 days. See what happens.
I guarantee you, if you do this, you'll be shocked at the results. If you found this valuable, please like this video. It helps me create more content like this. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I break down the best business and self-help books every week to help you become the best version of yourself. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the one habit you're going to start with? What identity are you building? Let me know. I read every comment, and I'd love to see your commitment. Thanks so much for watching. Now go build those atomic habits.